I've always been a big multiplayer guy. I always found it way more fun to play and interact with other people. When they released Phantasy Star Online for the Sega Dreamcast, I really didn't know what it was all about, except it was kind of like an MMORPG. I've heard of the Phantasy Star series, but I never played them growing up. This is one of those games I sort of blind bought because I heard great things about it, and it was by Sonic Team, which I love. And this was back in the days of good old dial-up. Nothing was better than waiting 10 hours for the game to connect and have it drop with an error 2 minutes later. Man, those were the good old days. Even though Phantasy Star Online has the word online in it, it doesn't mean that you absolutely have to play it online. This game allows you to play your character on and offline, which is pretty sweet. Unlike Diablo 2, where they make you have separate on and offline characters. And in Diablo 2, if you don't play your online character for a while, those fucking jerks delete it on you. But I think this was originally to try to stop cheating. We'll go back to that cheating thing a little later. So before you get going in the game, you have to create a character. One thing I didn't like so much is that you had to have separate VMUs, aka virtual memory units, for each character that you made. But if you look at it this way, it makes you play the same character instead of re-rolling like noobs in World of Warcraft do all the fucking time.
Oh my god! Why did they nerf warriors? Freaking Blizzard is so gay! I'm gonna re-roll rogue and backstab everybody.
So you have 9 classes to choose from. They are broken up into 3 groups. You got Hunters, Rangers, and Force. Hunters are the most balanced class, while Rangers are mainly melee. And then you got Force characters who are more technique, aka magic oriented. When you create a character, you're pretty limited to customization. You have a limited amount of faces, hair, and costume color. And guess what? You cannot choose the sex of your character. So for you females playing male characters, you're just going to have to pretend to be trannies. Now that you got your character started, it's time to play. Offline mode is more story-driven, while online mode is more or less for exploring levels and getting loot. So I'll make the story brief here. You're on this spaceship called the Pioneer, and you find this livable planet called Regal, so you want to go back down there and explore it after you started building on there, and yeah, you find out that shit has kind of hit the fan. So it's kind of your job to go down there and pretty much kill stuff. Anyways, once you get going, you'll be able to discover the spaceship. And the spaceship's got typical stuff like shops, banks, and a place where you get side quests. From now on, I'm just going to refer to the game as PSO. So in PSO, there are 4 main level locations in the whole game, so don't expect a large range of level design here. People who have played large games like EverQuest and other large MMOs will quickly be bored of this game. Good! Go play your ancient MMO and order pizza in-game. Nerds. Each main level has a couple little sub-levels here, and then you get to the main boss of the level. The bosses in PSO are pretty sweet because they're fucking huge. I remember the first time I stepped foot into the first boss's area and I about pooped myself because the large-ass dragon owned our low-level asses. But now I'm level 100, so he dies quick now. Whoa, I need to slow down. I'm going too fast. Let's slow it down and talk about the gameplay. Even if you played a Force like I did, you'll find yourself doing a whole lot of melee. With melee, you have light and heavy attacks. PSO isn't one of those games where you can just button mash melee attacks either. You have to time your attacks in order to get 3 swings together. And when it comes to killing enemies with magic or techniques, it's like any other RPG. Use the elements accordingly. Duh! So on the bottom right side of the screen, you can see the buttons you can map. If you hold the right trigger, you'll have more. And this is obviously where you'd map your techniques, and you can even map items. Stuff that helps you replenish your health or your TP. I said TP. Another really great thing about PSO is the communication aspect in this game. If you were cool enough to get a Dreamcast keyboard like me, you could type onto it to your buddies. The stuff you would type would show up in like a little comic book bubble. And if you didn't have a keyboard, well, typing on the controller was hell.
Hey Jumbo Junkie, how are you doing? G O O D.
But for those poor people, they threw in a symbol chat. And that's where you can make simple commands or do what most people did, just make stupid shit and spam it and piss you off. So really the highlight in this game is loot. Weapons, armor, aid stuff, mags, the shit just goes on and on. Some items need to be analyzed, which sometimes could be a good thing. Items with question marks give you a good possibility that they are pretty good items. And the text color and stats will decide how good they are. Yeah, and I mentioned mags. Well, what's a mag? Well, a mag's that little thing that follows you around like a little stray cat.
Stop following me!
It's kind of like a Gigapet where you feed it and give it items and make it grow and level up. But after a while, your mag is charged up from battle and gives you the ability to do this huge attack with it. And this shit is super handy when it comes to boss battles. So So as the game goes on and on, there are different difficulty levels. And as time goes on, you're going to want to do those more difficult levels because, well, it gives you better items, and that's how you unlock the very last level. So that's kind of a basic rundown of the game. So now let's go through the stuff that they could have improved or just fixed. I mean, even though that PSO is one of my favorite games of all time, there's a few things in this game that just are like, why? The first thing that really made me scratch my head is when I died, I was wondering where the hell my weapon and money went. Well, when you die, they drop right next to your dead corpse. And this means you gotta revive back at the ship, go back into the portal, back to the level, go all the way back down to find that your stuff is gone. Because if you're playing online, 99.9% of the time, you got fucking ripped off from somebody that you're playing with in your party. So I used to only play with people I trust. But if I played with random people, I'd always stash my good weapons and all my money inside my bank before I'd go and play. The best solution for all this is just to stay alive. And another thing online was trading, and trading was an adventure, let me tell you. The classic trading place in this game was up here where the principal was. In order to trade, you had to literally drop your item and hope that the other guy did the exact same. It was kind of like playing Russian roulette. You got blown away a lot. There were so many assholes that played this game, they would just pick up your item and run to the lobby portal. So eventually trading was really out of the picture, and yeah, a trading system would have fixed this, but there was no trading system. One thing a lot of people really complained about was the last appeal of this game. Sure, there weren't that many levels, but a year later they would give us Episode 2. In Episode 2, the level design was a lot better, and yeah, it was pretty sweet. So why did I stop playing? Well, the thing that really killed this game for me was the amount of cheating there was. Eventually, there was really no point going out and getting weapons and armor because, well, people had Game Sharks, and with Game Sharks, you could dupe items and money. And this was all done by going offline and going back online. And I think that's why Diablo 2 did that whole offline and online thing with separate characters. But in the end, I had like all the sweet weapons, I had the best armor, the best add-ons, I even had all types of mags. And this game, in my opinion, is like super revolutionary. It really got the ball rolling for these kind of games to come. And that is why Sega is so amazing. So in the end, I had about 300-ish hours into PSO. I tried to revisit it when they re-released episodes 1 and 2 for the Xbox. Immediately, people were cheating, and it was really rare to find people that were playing legit. And on top of that, there was now a $4.99 monthly fee. Not that I cared too much, but it was nice to play free. I could have used those $5 for delicious KFC Tatoes. I love this game, and I still like to play it from time to time. Although this game feels empty without other people to play with, it's still really fun going through my inventory and check out my weapons and just fucking shit up. Phantasy Star has certainly evolved from the old RPG style to now where it's more hack-em-slash-em MMO style. So if you want to check out PSO nowadays, probably the easiest way is to check a bargain bin for the GameCube or Xbox version. And not too long ago, they released Phantasy Star Universe. I ended up getting the PC version for some reason, and I really didn't get into it that much. But this was during the age of Guild Wars and World of Warcraft, and those games are really hard to top nowadays. So making this review kind of makes me want to get the 360 version and kind of give it another go. And also, there's a new Phantasy Star coming out for the PSP very soon, so you'll know I'll be all over that. So this game gets Jumble Junkie's #1 ribbon at the county fair. Yeehaw!